So the New York Mets are destroying my will to live. They have lost another series, and you think you've seen the Mets as bad as they can get, and then they come right out next season and show you a whole nother circle of hell that you never thought existed.
Mm.
I don't know, all of our teams have had their fair share of being bad. But there is little torment like being a New York Mets fan. So if I sound a little grumpier during today's episode, y'all know why.
I don't blame you at all.
I'm just trying to be respectful because I don't like you don't need like this. I don't want you to feel bad. Like we were supposed to be competitive. The Cardinals weren't supposed to be doing this good. I expected to be the one complaining all the time. Damn it. I was ready. I was prepared. But the reason why I say that is the Mets are doing something that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Because by roster, it doesn't make sense. Oh, sorry, bud. Go lay down. Sorry, guys. I'm swinging my arms around because I'm a vocal arm moving person, and my dog walked over, didn't mean to see him there, and popped him in the nose by accident.
Oh,
Kitty.
I feel bad. I wasn't trying to. Now he's looking at me like, what the fuck, man? Sorry, dog. You walked into the line of fire. Shit. He's okay, though. But yeah, I don't know. They're going to come back, right? Like, just.
They have to.
It's gotta. It's gotta. They're not this bad. They're just not.
they really shouldn't be. But again, I mean, it's we're going into May. They could very easily turn this around. They could have a really hot month of May. Not saying they will, because I know better than to predict things like that. But it's not ideal right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. And I think we're gonna keep even, me and Argo and I is the correct way to say that. Are absolutely rooting for y'all to get it back on track.
Yeah, I mean the Mets are my NL team just because of you, Drewski.
Hey,
Thank you,
fuck,
Argo.
man.
I would not
Fuck,
subject
man.
yourself to that,
I'm still holding
but
on
that's
hope
your
for
call.
I'm still holding on hope for the Mets Mariners World Series this year.
The
We
M's
will
and
see.
M&M's.
Yeah, the M&M World Series.
I mean,
M&Ms. I love M&Ms. What are your guys' favorite kind of M&Ms?
ooh, I think I got a shocking one. Maybe not shocking.
Okay. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
It comes down to me really loving almonds. So I like the almond ones. I love almonds. But a close second is either M&M the peanuts, or they're I have to be in the mood for them. But the peanut butter ones hit different than Reese's
That is
pieces.
fair.
Yeah, I see it.
When you're craving them, they're really damn good. But if you want something like Reese's, you can't substitute it with the M&M peanut butter. You just can't. It's nowhere near the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say
Yeah,
almond.
no,
I like the
that's
almond
fair.
ones.
For me, it's just the base. Oh, excuse me. Probably just the basic bitch M&Ms, because they're just gas.
They grow great in ice cream.
They do. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean the classics are great, but I don't believe they still make them anymore. But there was like a hazelnut one that I was
You reminded me of those. Those
obsessed
were really
with.
good. I love
Those were
hazelnuts
so
too.
good. You know what I've
Drewski.
noticed? I haven't really seen M&Ms as like a ballpark snack. That should be a thing.
Oh, that's true.
I
Definitely
agree.
a movie theater snack, but it's a little pouch. It's really easy to keep like
It
control of
is.
while you're sitting around or moving around and stuff. Like, yeah, it's kind of good.
Yeah. Well,
amazing,
welcome to the Untitled Furry Baseball Podcast. My name's Argo.
I am Drewski.
I'm Solis the Wolf.
And welcome back once again. We don't really have much of a plan for today, do we?
Bringing your favorite ball sport That's our that's our
Okay.
tagline.
Sure.
We gotta
Oh,
come up with one of those.
we should probably come up with the title first. You know.
Yeah, probably one day, someday.
Just a
Oh god.
thought.
By the end of the
Yeah, I
season, we will
mean,
have a title.
we
The
will.
title
We
is the
will.
title
That's
of
the
the season
goal.
is What the Fuck Mets.
Um, I mean, we've had some what the fuck moments over the last week. I know that
Mm,
much. How about the Boston Red Sox firing their
Oh,
entire coaching staff after winning a
yeah.
game 17-1?
yeah.
Like, I'm sure the decision had been made before, and that's why it happened, but like, there's something objectively hilarious about getting fired after winning by 16 runs.
Yeah. That's just crazy.
Yep. I was actually gonna say this. I saw speculation online. They're expecting the Mets to do the same. Do you think that's because of what the Red Sox do? People are saying, "Oh, the Mets are probably going to do the same thing. They're going to get rid of the whole front office." Blah blah blah. Do you perceive that happening to the Mets organization, or is it more like, no, we're going to stay the course because we expect things to go better?
I mean, I don't know.
Would you
There
be
are a lot of.
upset if they did remove like a lot of staff because of this?
I would not. I mean, I am struggling to kind of see the logic behind why they haven't made any moves like that yet. I mean, the hitting coach and pitcher coach are brand new. You know, they cleaned house at pretty much every position last year, other than the manager. So, you know, I think they're going to give those guys a little bit of a leash, but you know, we're pushing a calendar year where the Mets have been one of the worst teams in baseball, despite having the second highest payroll. And you know, I know it's on the players to most of the extent. You know, the guys that are making 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year need to perform, but when the stretch has lasted this long of just putrid play at points, I mean, you know, they haven't been, you know, other than like the Dodgers, they have not really been playing any good teams, and they're just getting blown out series after series. You know, this past homestand has been a series against the Twins, which they did win. To their credit, they broke the 12-game losing streak against the Twins, and they won that series. But then followed that up by getting swept pretty uncompetitively by the Colorado Rockies. They only scored 4 runs against the Colorado Rockies over the course of
Mm.
3 games, and now just lost the series to the Washington Nationals, who, you know, at this point are obviously ahead of them in the standings, but they are not really projected to be much this season. So, you know, when a team with this kind of expectations is struggling this badly, um, it's really hard to fathom why they don't make that move. Um, you know, I've heard a lot that the players like Carlos Mendoza, the front office likes Carlos Mendoza, which is fine. You know, I'm sure he's a very nice guy, and I don't have any ill will against Carlos Mendoza, the person, the human being, but I think it's becoming clearer and clearer by the day that you need to make a move. And, you know, the Phillies just fired their manager and followed that up by sweeping the San Francisco Giants. So, you know, I don't know when they're going to make a move, if they're going to move on from Carlos Mendoza at all during the season, but I ultimately think it's going to have to happen. I mean, this team has just been far too short of their potential for way too long.
Yeah, some may say that a spark needs to be ignited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do something, and replacing your manager might do that. Get somebody in there,
And you
make it
know,
feel fresh, and then be able to hopefully, because all you gotta do is start winning, you know, here and there. You just gotta start putting something together.
I mean, you could have a torrid May, and they've usually, from you know my experience, the Mets have usually played pretty well during the month of May. So, you know, you finish April 10 games under 500. You know, you could turn around and have a May record of 10 games over 500, and you're right at 500 going into June.
Mhm.
And with the extra playoff spot, now you have 3 wild cards. You're sitting at 500 in June. You're very much in range. You hit that trade deadline. You can absolutely be a buyer sitting around 500, especially considering where the expectations for the Mets are.
I would say, and that's what I think should be the plan here, is to not focus on what's happening and more so let's have a May that brings us back to 500. Like let's just get
Yeah.
back to 500 and go from there. If you can do that, you're absolutely right. I think it would be phenomenal.
I mean, even if
And
you don't get to 500 exactly, but just just win more series than you lose in the month of May. And again, with the way the playoff structure is now, you're right back in it. Just have
oh, yeah.
you, you know, take at least 3-4 series. I'm Let me see. Let me actually pull up the Mets schedule for the month of May. We can
Just to
kind of
see.
we can do a little roadmap. So they're going to start tomorrow against the Angels, then Colorado, then Arizona, then the Tigers, Yankees, Nationals, Marlins, Reds, Marlins back at home. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 series. Realistically, I mean, if you win 6 of those series and, just try and avoid getting swept in as many of the others as possible, you're right back into that going into June. And realistically, by the end of June, that's kind of what what you really are. Are we back to being a contender? Are we out of it? Are we selling at the deadline? Are we reloading for next year if there is a next year or whenever the next season is going to be? Um, you know, I don't want to make it a cop out and be like, oh well, it's still early, but there's time to right this ship, but it is getting shorter by the day. So I think the Mets need to have a good plan going forward. I think you need to figure out what your move is as Carlos Mendoza and just go. Don't worry about what happened in April. Just focus on the games in front of you, and I think that's going to be the best approach.
I agree.
Have there been, because I don't really follow much of Mets media or Mets fans or anything, have there been calls from the fan base and stuff to oust
I mean,
the manager and such?
oh, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
80+%, if nothing else, like 80% or more of the Mets fan base is calling for his head.
Mm.
And again, we had the great memory of the 2024 season, his first year, and making that first deep run in about a decade. It sucks. And I don't have any ill will against Carlos Mendoza the person, but at a certain point you got to make a change.
Mm.
Oh yeah. I mean, urgency is the key, right?
Yeah. I mean,
As you said,
yeah.
there is, it's still early, there's still time, but urgency is the key. You don't want to, it's like a complacency thing, right? You don't want to fall back on the, oh, it's early, until it's too late, you know? So,
Yeah.
definitely hoping to see that turnaround for the Mets. And something's got to change, but, and like you said, I don't know who, but I mean, you could definitely see a manager swap up trying to reignite and get the clubhouse to kind of rally behind new hope.
For sure. For sure.
Now, if there is another New York team that is doing quite well, and no, I'm not going to talk about the Yankees. I'm not going to talk about a baseball team because this is not baseball. The Knicks just set a
Knicks.
franchise record for points in a playoff game and won by 51.
God dang. What's the score?
The final score
140-89.
One.
Yeah.
So they They now will await the winner of the Celtics 76ers series, and score update from that game. Sixers are down 3-2 in the series. They were down 3-1, but they're up 15 in the third quarter. So the Sixers on the precipice of sending us back to Boston after being down 3-1. That'll be an interesting series, and I honestly don't know who I would rather face because I mean the Celtics are the second seed. They're obviously the better team, but Sixers come off a 3-1 comeback. It's kind of scary.
Reverse sweeps, baby. I don't watch basketball. How the Bulls doing?
Aren't they like bad?
The Bulls season is already over.
I
Yeah.
know.
They
I
lost to the
assume. I'm pretty sure they're not
play-ins.
great. They haven't been great for a long time, unfortunately. We had the whole Derrick Rose moment, and that's about the only bright spot in I think my whole life, except for Michael Jordan was in my lifespan, but I was too young to really know about it and really understand what people were watching during that time. But yeah, well.
Going back to baseball, because I'll be real with you. I saw an ESPN
Baseball?
notification on my phone and was just like, okay, I got to mention this
Ball?
because this is crazy. But going back to baseball, there's a player that I'd like to talk about, and he has been the reason why the Mariners have actually been pretty solid recently. They went 5-1 on their last road trip, which is great considering before this. Yeah, I know. Went 5-1 on the road trip,
Bark.
including a
Bark.
sweep.
Fuck you.
Hey, if you
Yeah.
weren't reacting, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yes, you can talk about the sweep.
I already talked about the sweep. I'm not gonna go into the sweep, but it was a 5-1 road trip, and it was mostly off of who is currently, I believe, the best second baseman in baseball right now. And he is 22 years old, and that is Cole Young.
Yeah, he's been doing good. He hurt the Cardinals.
Yeah. Cole Young has had a great season thus far. Let me pull more up here. He was really clutch in this last series against the Twins, with hitting a game-tying RBI double in the 7th, and then finishing the game in the 9th with for a go-ahead run. Yeah, he's been incredibly solid and has actually been, I believe, the best second baseman in baseball. And he was a rookie last year. He's been, and for whatever reason, we're putting this man at the 8th spot in our lineup. So, yeah, I think there's been some pushes to put him higher in the lineup, which I really hope they do because he's just been so solid, just such a team player. He hasn't been, hitting too many home runs from what I know, but he has now had an RBI in 6 straight games and is the current longest in the majors.
Huge.
Yeah. So I just want to mention that Cole Young is fucking awesome.
I mean, with the Mariners, also kind of having a disappointing start, to now be back at 500, which. Hey, the A's have had a little bit of, been a bright spot in that division.
Oh yeah,
it's been good to kind of see them doing what they're doing. They're 17-14.
I am quite happy with how the AL West is looking right now, even though all the teams are kind of mid or like really bad. Seeing the Astros and the Angels at the bottom, just makes me very happy. I love to see it. Rangers being in the middle is kind of expected. I expected them to be the most mid team in all of baseball, and I expect them to continue being the most mid team in all of baseball. But I think my prediction of Mariners winning the AL West and the A's making the wild card, I think that could still happen. I think it is a pretty decent shot of happening, actually.
Yeah.
Y'all called me crazy.
Y'all called you crazy, but I mean, we were incredibly wrong about even.
Yeah, I've been wrong about a lot of things, but I've always pegged the A's as a potential dark horse team. So We'll see.
I'm good to see him go for another run, but obviously the Mariners need to make playoffs.
For a team that doesn't have a home.
Yeah,
doing this
well, they're wearing the Sacramento jerseys now. They're
well.
embracing because my theory is that the moving to Vegas is not even a sure thing at this point. So
no.
they just want to have all their bases covered in case
Mhm.
they can't move there, at least in their expected time frame. They want to have some goodwill with the people of Sacramento, so people will actually come to the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard swapping. It's hard watching teams move, especially. Well, like I've had the whole conversation about the Bears still not knowing where their stadium's gonna be, but like the
Yeah,
fact that they were gonna move, like if they stay in the Illinois, Chicago area, suburbs and stuff, it's fine. But if it was to move to Indiana, holy shit, talk about a fan base not being happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hard to see it. Cool to see that the Athletics are making the best out of it, and at least giving the fans something.
Yeah, I really, really hope this team does not end up in Vegas because
Yeah.
first of all, it's Vegas. I really don't like any Vegas teams. I I fucking hate the Golden Knights, man.
fuck the Golden
Fuck the
Knights.
Golden Knights. Fuck the Raiders.
I miss the Raiders when they were in Oakland.
And the A's, the A's don't feel like a team that belongs in Vegas. Just as like a team, as of branding and as of everything, it just
No,
does not give Vegas vibes.
They don't give Vegas vibes. No, absolutely.
And
They're
I
not
mean,
a
there's
party
already
team.
been
They're
a lot of talks about like what a rebrand would look like, but I don't know. We may not even get to that point. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Your Mariners, man, your Mariners sweeping my Cardinals.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't. We didn't sweep the Mets. We got swept by the Mariners, and I was like, you know what? Damn it! And they were close games. 3-2 first game, 11-9. Absolute beat. I don't know. That was a boxing match. We were slugging each other back and forth, and the Cardinals could not hold on and
It
were
was a
able
home
to.
run derby.
Oh, I think we had 4 in the first 4 innings or something like that, wasn't it? We
Yeah.
had a significant amount of home runs at the very beginning,
Yeah.
and lost 9-11. So you guys won 11-9, and then we lost again 3-2. Another tight game where we were kind of scrounging it back, but just didn't put it together. Rough. But, and there's a reason why. You know what? It's cool. Mariners, you swept us. You got yourself situated back at 500. That's awesome. That's amazing. We just did a 4-game sweep of the Pirates in Pittsburgh.
You did?
Yeah, we won today.
Pirates have lost 5 straight. They were off to a good start, but they're now back
Pirates
down to
are-
500, which is crazy that every team in the NL Central is still 500 or above.
Yeah, the NL. Well, let me look at this really quick because I saw something interesting. Let's the AL Central at the AL Central and the NL Central. Well, no, the AL Central still kind of their best teams are at 500. They're just tight. There's a couple divisions that are still really tight without any clear big leaders. Everybody, even with the Pirates being at bottom, it's still at 500. Just it's crazy.
That's a really tough division right there.
The Cardinals are winning games they're not supposed to be winning. We've had conversations about this in the last couple of weeks about it, especially with run differential and other things where we're losing by a bunch and we're winning by a couple and they're squeaking away. I will say something that we're seeing a lot of on the Cardinals, and it's good leadership, is just purely fundamental baseball. Making good moves to, like, if they're trying to throw out a guy at home, the guy who just hit the single is moving up to second because they have the ability to move up to second and put themselves in a scoring position. We've been doing a lot of base stealing. A lot of just little things have led us to manufacturing opportunities for runs, which has, I think, been the difference between us being at the bottom of the Central and really being out on the outside looking into this division, as to being in the middle of the pack, still right in it with everybody else. Really good to see. I mean, JJ Weatherholt is doing awesome. He's doing great for a rookie. 7 home runs already.
That was a
You
first pitch.
know,
That was a first pitch home run off of Paul Skeens. That's kind of crazy, actually.
yeah. He's got 4 stolen bases on the year already in how many? 117, I guess, at bats. But looking at it all, he's doing really good. Jordan Walker, slowing down on the home run rate, but still up at 9, hitting really well, getting on base. His strikeouts are significantly higher than JJ's. 41 strikeouts to 33 hits versus 25 strikeouts to 30 hits for JJ. Showing that this rookie knows what he's doing. Like, he's doing good for a rookie. Nathan Church kind of coming out of nowhere. He's made some not only great defensive plays, including the final out, I think, of yesterday's game against the Pirates, which was damn near, if not was, a home run in the far left corner of left field. He tracked it down, was able to get there, made kind of a leap. He didn't need to leap, but I think it was one of those things you just kind of jump up in the air just in case you misread it and you have the range to then snag the ball. But he played it well, caught the final out. That was really scary yesterday because it was like 5-1 going into like the 6th or something like that. And the 7th, they loaded the bases and tacked on a few runs. And the 8th, they loaded the bases and only tacked on 1 run, making it 5-4, in which the Cardinals were able to get out of it. But 7th and 8th were fully loaded bases for the Pirates, and they were not able to score enough to get the win. Just missed opportunities for them. And that was a lot of the games. It was too far out of reach, kind of, when the Cardinals won 11-7 a few days back. But we're on a 4-game winning streak. Feeling great after the month of April in a team that we weren't expecting, we weren't expecting a whole lot. We're going into the Dodgers tomorrow, though. So Dodgers
That
and
could
Brewers.
be a good series.
It is home. The next 6
Yeah.
games are home. So we've got 3 at the Dodgers, 3 at the Brewers, and then we go immediately to 4 at the Padres. We don't even get a travel day. Shit. It's a 12:15 game, I guess, on that Wednesday for the Brewer game, though. So, but yeah, that's going to be a stretch. This is going to be a big stretch, and this is going to show, that's what 3, 6, 10 game stretch of no breaks against the Dodgers, Brewers, and Padres. I think this is going to be, these 10 games can showcase very much so what the Cardinals are or aren't.
Exactly.
And
I think, the Dodgers especially, they're going to be wanting, they're going to probably come in pretty aggressively into the series after coming off of a series loss to the Marlins, which
I was just about to say,
yeah.
I also find it extremely funny that right after Dalton Rushing made a comment about the Rockies when feeling kind of fishy, that the Miami Marlins come in and take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers.
What I find incredibly funny, the Dodgers having a nearly $300 million payroll just lost a series to the Marlins, who have the lowest payroll in the entire league.
Damn.
I find that incredibly funny. The Marlins have a $77 million
Agreed.
payroll.
Oh, I'm gonna start rooting for the Marlins a little bit more. No, I can't.
Do
They're
that.
They're the best.
You shouldn't do that.
You'd be rooting for a team that does not put enough money in.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
I mean, that was. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that is the Cubs' problem with management or ownership for so many years. There's a reason why they didn't win in 100 years, and it's not just bad luck. You gotta get people that want to actually go out there and get some names, get some players, and go do some things.
Yeah, because you got these because you obviously have the teams in the top, like the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Braves are all spending so much money on their rosters. Um, but you also do need to look at the teams that are spending almost nothing on their rosters, like the
Right.
Marlins, the Guardians, the White Sox, because they're also in a way part of the problem in the with payroll discrepancy.
That'll, yeah. I mean, that's what the whole collectively bargaining is about too, right?
Mm.
It's also about payroll and stuff. So I was gonna say you're gonna hate me for it. Well, I want to go back since I was still kind of finishing. I'm finishing up on the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it again. Swanson still has over a 10 ERA. Why is he still pitching? He pitched. He actually pitched today, I think. Because we won like 10-5, so they're like, even if he gives up like 3 to 4 runs, we're still gonna win the game, right? So they gave him the 9th instead of giving O'Brien, who has been our lockdown, and as I live updated you guys to it against the freaking Mariners,
Mm-hmm.
that he had a 0 ERA up until the freaking Mariners.
Yeah.
Where in 15 games now he has a in 15 games, 15 innings pitched, only a 1.17 ERA. Only 2 earned runs against him right now in those 15 innings. He's doing good with 17 strikeouts to 1 walk. Like, he's still absolutely lights out. A 0.78 whip. This O'Brien guy, I don't know who he is, but he's making it work. He's making it work. Another really big, again, out of the bullpen guy that's really been looking good is Graceffo. Similar numbers, actually more innings pitched in only 13 games, 17 innings pitched, and has a 104 ERA. But he's not been really closing games out as much as he's been. He's been more of a middleman, which is why I think he's gotten a couple more innings in there. That's surprisingly, it's so weird. It's the Cardinals really are the black and white in the bullpen. We've got some way too high of numbers on some of our relievers, and then a couple of our guys are pitching lights out right now. And our
I mean, that's just
starters
kind of
are,
how it is sometimes. I mean,
yeah,
there's very few teams that are just going to have completely elite bullpens across the board
yeah.
for every guy. But, you'll take what you can get because the Mets have been I mean, they've been inconsistent at everything, but their bullpen has kind of been disappointing.
Oh,
Speaking
absolutely.
of pitching, I do want to come back to the Mariners once again. I
do
want
it.
to talk about this interesting scenario that the Mariners are kind of hitting right now. So the Mariners, their 5 starting pitchers right now are Brian Wu, Emerson Hancock, Luis Castillo, George Kirby, and Logan Gilbert. That's their 5 right now for their lineup. Bryce Miller is coming off of IR. He was a start. He's been a starter for us for a bit. And Emerson Hancock came in to fill for him in that spot. Emerson Hancock is having a really, really good year. He has pitched very, very well as a starter. Now the question becomes, do the Mariners cut him out or cut somebody else out of this lineup or make it a 6-man lineup? A lot of people are kind of pointing the finger though at Luis Castillo because he kind of hasn't had a very good year, but he's also a veteran of the team. So it's kind of a question of who do you pull? Do you pull the guy who's newer, who's like hasn't proven himself too much, but has shown that he's been playing really well this year so far, or do you pull the veteran who's struggling, or do you go to a full 6-man lineup? I want to hear your thoughts.
I don't know. Not good enough. That's it's a tough. It's a good position. It's good.
It is a very good position to be in. We have too many good pitchers.
So I was about to mention before you snagged it from me. The Cardinals starting pitching is kind of one of the bigger reasons why we're not doing good, because like 2 of our guys are over 5 ERAs and only one of our guys is in the mid 2s. It's rough on our starting. If we had if our ERAs were closer to 3 across the board, we'd be winning more games and probably leading the division. But yeah, so we have a problem with our starting position. So hey, you want to move your problem over to us? Come on, like let's do that.
That is another thing. People are thinking of like, what if we just trade Castillo?
There's
to get something else out of it. Like you could trade one of these players off, or you could make one of them go to the bullpen as a reliever.
And I was gonna say you could do like a. It would really help with how it is. I was wondering if Drewski was dead or not. You get bud?
I have no idea what just happened. I was here listening to you guys talk, and then suddenly the call just dropped off. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Would you like me to go over what I was discussing, or what did you miss?
No, we can keep moving along as usual.
Well,
I really didn't have anything to add anyway.
Okay, you didn't have anything? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good problem, great problem. You could get somebody out of it with trades, or there's some plenty of things to do. You could do a 5-1 bullpen situation. There's the whole thought process of if you could build it into. Some people say the 5-man rotation is good because people your starters don't get cold. You know what I mean? But there's also the concept of if they're all performing well enough, you can stick one in the bullpen, quote unquote bullpen, and every other week or so you just slot them in and give everybody an extra day off. Basically, that could really help prolong and their stamina through the entire year.
Right? Yeah,
so
that's one of the biggest.
There's a lot of conversation to have.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest proponents towards sort of shifting them to a 6-player pitching rotation, which I don't think they're going to do, but shifting them to this 6-player rotation would do great in resting all the pitchers' arms more, because that builds up the amount of pitches that they're throwing per season. It is just marginally less with an extra pitcher, with an extra arm in there. It's just less work for all of them, and it makes it so when you reach into the postseason, you have a much more fresh pitcher to use, or much more fresh pitchers to use. So, hoping that they go with that. Personally, I hope that they go with a 6-man rotation after Bryce Miller comes back. But I don't know if I'll see it, and I don't know if I'm going to agree with the decision that they're going to make.
I think this year for the Cardinals is still going to be a bust in the sense that, theoretically, there's a whole you can make the wild card, and then maybe they could do another 2011 wild card run back. But I don't think the talent is here anywhere near what the 2011. I mean, you had Chris Carpenter, and Wayno was hurt that season. But you just didn't have the talent like we did then. And I don't think they should reach this year. I don't think at all. I think if we end up performing like we are, and we end up in a nice position at the end of the year, just be happy that it happened. Don't try to be big buyers before the trade deadline to suddenly make something out of nothing, and just keep with what we've been doing with this rebuild.
I think that is a weird spot that a lot of teams kind of been put in with this extra playoff spot in each league, and even going up to the extra spot with the wild card game. I think a lot of teams kind of have to look at themselves and say, okay, what are we? Because the 2024 Mets, for example, started off really rough, went on a late run, and ultimately came within 2 wins of a pennant. But they had a pretty active deadline, and there could have been universe where they said, okay, we said this was going to be a rebuilding year. We're kind of sticking to our guns on that. We're not really going to do anything at the deadline. And, I think that's a position a lot of teams could find themselves in where, you're theoretically a team that could get into the postseason. And hell, you could win a wild card series. But are you willing to really, your championship window isn't quite open yet. And you don't want to mortgage your future on a team that really, no matter what you do at the deadline, they're not really going to be a team that could go win the World Series. So, I just think that's a really interesting position that a lot more teams are going to continue to find themselves in. There's going to be a lot more soul searching being done approaching the trade deadline than there have been, when there was just 4 teams making it from each league.
Yeah. I think specifically for the Cardinals, you don't overreach. You are excited for the fan base that we have a team that's overperforming, and you keep working towards that and spend the rest of the time identifying what you can do, especially with these rookies doing what they're doing right now. You got to figure out if they're boom or bust. If they're not bust, you've got these guys cheap. Keep them locked in, and now you know where you can identify other places to go with. The Cardinals are a relatively defensively strong team. I mean, Nathan Church in the out left is pretty solid. I believe it should be Mason Wynn, I think, is in the outfield. I forget which one. Mason Wynn's either in the outfield or he's short. It's that or Victor Scott. Jordan Walker in right field. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's not awful either. And then you've got a pretty, Burleson. It's first base. You don't need to have the most room. So defensively, they're strong. They're a young team. Don't overreach. Have fun. Enjoy the season as it's been. Hopefully, we don't go on any crazy, losing streaks. Just keep kind of doing what we're doing. Identify places and pieces that we can pick up throughout the year and see. Well, I'd like to see what's coming in the future, but definitely don't sell our future for a chance at the wild cards because, like you said, there shouldn't be much of an expectation to try and win out against any team that makes it to the World Series this year. It's just the talent's not there. Yes, people can overperform. It's just you're talking betting 80-1, like big betting on 80-1, big odds. It would be insane if they were able to actually make it happen.
But it feels like there's always a team that kind of gets in unexpectedly. I don't think very many people had the Cincinnati Reds making the postseason last year, and like I said, the season before that, don't think people were really picking the Mets. So but like I said, regardless of where the Cardinals stand, even a couple months from now, who really knows if they're going to be interested in being aggressive at the deadline? Because, like you said, their rebuild's really kind of still going on.
All right.
Absolutely. I was looking at pictures because I was going to bring up a couple picture stories that are going on right now, and one of them you're not going to like, of course. But I just saw he's considered the 11th person. I don't know how they did this because I went by ERA, and Shohei Ohtani is not on the list, so I don't know why he's not qualified on this list of top 25 in ERA.
Probably an
Maybe
innings thing.
It's 30 innings. There's some people on here with 31, 33. But like Shohei has like a .60 ERA right now, and that's even over 30 innings. That's still fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't say
He
too much.
is off to a
against
very
that.
hot start.
And he's batting all right. So I mean, you got Jesus. But then I was gonna bring up it's higher now. It was lower than Shohei. Was Jose Soriano over on the Angels. Having an absolutely insane start. 7 games, 5-1 with a .84 ERA. With I think half the runs coming off of the last game he played. It like did the most damage to his ERA. He is only given up 4 earned runs on 3 homers, 16 walks to 49 strikeouts, and 42 and 2/3 innings pitched.
Insane.
Just fucking. He has a whip under 1 as a starter. Oh,
He's
he's
probably the only reason why the Angels have any wins.
Oh,
Okay. Well, both him, yeah.
We've seen a little Mike Trout resurgence.
seen some Mike
Trout.
Trout.
I don't want to. I'm gonna knock on wood right now because I don't want to risk him just breaking his back or something and ending this nice little comeback story early. But Mike Trout's been back this year, and you'll love to see it.
I don't with him being in my division, but you know,
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Look, you want to root it for certain storylines. It just sucks that happens to be in one of our divisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could still root for, like, I kind of want to see Soriano keep doing what he's doing, and then I hope the Cardinals purchase him.
like sure, I'm fine if Mike Trout does well. Just don't do it well into my Mariners, like, or just stay
Yep.
in, or just have him do well and everybody else on the roster play terribly, which is kind of exactly what's
Well,
happening.
boy, do I have news for you on that.
Oh yeah,
Because that's kind of what the Angels have been doing. Not that I have no room to talk as a fan of the worst team in the league right now.
Hey, the White Sox will get that back eventually.
I think the White
I
Sox
hope,
won't.
I don't know.
You
The
think
White
so?
Sox are a fun team, man. Like, they're not going to win anything this year. They're probably still a quote unquote bad team, but they're going to be a fun team to watch. Like, they're very much a competitive team that could, potentially play a little bit of spoiler down the stretch. So we'll see.
Yeah, I just love Munetaka Murakami.
Me
He's
too.
just an awesome
Very
player.
upset the Mets did not sign him.
Is
Very
he the home run
upset.
leader right now?
He's
at
up
12
there.
home runs. That's got to be
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's crazy because he has his 12 home runs, and he is also the only qualified player this season without a single double.
Yeah,
I said
no
that really
doubles.
funny.
No,
12 home runs, no doubles.
well, that's what we
as of this morning, at least.
Yeah, he's got 12 home runs. He is tied with Aaron Judge and Yordan Alvarez at the top.
Oh wow!
Just as we all predicted.
No, we were. I think we were talking about it, Argo. The last time, I think his at bats were or not. It worked out to like basically, he has 26 hits to 12 home runs. I think the last time we looked at it, he had 11 home runs to like 22 hits. So it was like, it's either he hits a single or he hits a home run. That's just it.
Or he strikes out because he's also got 46 strikeouts.
He has 46 strikeouts. He does, to his point, also have 25 walks. So the home run threat is probably a bit of that,
Yeah.
A little bit scary to go against somebody who's hitting 12 home runs already. I don't know what pace that puts him on, but 31 games. So, Jesus, he's almost 31 games and he's hit 12. That's like 40% home run rate per. Jeez. If you averaged it, of course, but that's insane to look at. But I was looking at that. I was looking at these pictures, right, really quick. Awesome to see Soriano, what he's doing. I don't know who this Cam Schlitter is for the Yankees, but he's doing really good, I guess.
He's been really good. I mean, he was a rookie last year. He got off to a pretty hard start. Won a playoff series for him.
7 games, only 4-1. But with a 1.51 ERA and a 70.74 WHIP, like this guy's killing it for him. They need to get some run support for him.
He's gonna be on that Cy Young short list at the end of the year. I can feel that coming.
Hey, Clay Holmes is actually up there.
Clay Holmes, like the Mets have done a lot of wrong over the last few years, like last half decade or so, even under the Steve Cohen ownership. But that Clay Holmes contract, man, might be the best of like the last decade plus. I mean, they basically are paying him 4th or 5th starter money to be putting up 3rd or 2nd, or so far this season he's been our ace. So it is really great to see it. I think he's going to regress a bit more to the mean at some point this year, but I mean that mean is probably going to be like a 3.5 ERA guy, which will take that all day, every day from a guy making what he's making.
That's awesome. If not, and he doesn't, fuck yeah,
Oh, it'll be even better because that probably means we start to turn it around.
You know what absolutely blew me? I was looking at this list and I could not believe a name I just didn't realize he was still in the freaking league. I didn't realize Chris Sale was still around.
Chris Sale is
Atlanta. He's 5-1.
Season removed.
Oh,
Huh?
oh, we're losing Drewski.
I
We're
hate
losing-
more than anyone else in baseball.
Oh,
What?
you're
Sorry,
going to
we
repeat all
lost
that.
you. Drewski?
Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't hear anything you said. You cut out.
No, I mean, I was just saying, Chris Sale is a year removed from a Cy Young campaign, and very just unfortunate that he's doing it for the Braves, a team that I hate more than anyone else in baseball.
I just didn't. God, it's just a name that I remember. He's been around the league for a long time now.
He has.
And,
He has.
I just didn't think that was a name that was still running around there. I'm also looking at this. I'm seeing Jacob deGrom's doing really well this year too. That's an older pitcher, I believe.
Salt in the wound.
Both those guys are 37. They're older than me, and they're pitching like this in the league, man. Shit.
If we're talking about
Cool.
pitchers, though, there is one pitcher I do need to talk about, and that we have not talked about yet, and that is Mason Miller.
Oh,
Mason Miller has been on fucking fire.
Mason Miller's been absolutely electric.
Unfortunately, into my
I mean,
memories
it's
for a bit.
early.
I was gonna say he was he went viral for his walkout song, which we had a whole talk about.
That's true.
And and he's just making it look good. Like he may be the reason why the Padres are able to win a lot of these games. When you have a man like that throwing how he throws, that ball just moves, dude. What the fuck?
Just a quick stat here. He's pitched 15.1 innings so far this season, and he's got 29 strikeouts.
Jeez.
That's ridiculous.
Literally almost 2 strikeouts per inning.
Yeah.
That's in an
That is
ERA of a
disgusting.
117, 59 whip. Oh. Yeah. Every other inning, somebody gets on base by either a walk or a hit, and then they don't do anything because I just strike them out. Buddy, 27, born in 98 in Pittsburgh. Oh, man. Pirates, what are you doing wrong? You got to get that boy back home. That's crazy, though. Sheesh. Yeah, drafted in 2021 by the A's. Oakland A's at the time. That's killer right there. You never know. You can't predict this stuff, but man, yeah, he's been really fun to watch. Go watch him and go watch some of his pitches he's made. He's making the ball move in ways that batters are like, "What do you mean? What did you just do?"
That's pretty much all I've got to talk about, unless you guys have more topics to bring up.
I think I'm good.
Good.
Something I'd like to suggest is, if we ever miss anything, or if you got something coming up that you've seen in baseball, mention it in the comments. We do take a look at those. Love to see it.
Yeah.
We do not catch everything,
Yeah. Yeah, let us know what you guys want us to talk about. We will gladly look into it and talk about it more. Thank you all for listening to the podcast once again. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that. What's up?
Oh, the ABS challenge that I sent you guys. ABS should stay. It won the Reds home crowd pizza. An ABS strike call got 11 strikeouts, which gave them...
I mean, there's that, and I don't know if you guys talked about this at all. I can't remember which day this was, but sorry, Solis, but the ABS challenge that kind of saved the day, where Mariners player
Rob
hits the home run.
It was an awful strike call, though. It was an absolutely awful strike call.
I mean,
it was terrible.
It was like a solid half foot out of the zone, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of interesting things happening in the world of ABS calls.
Yeah, really love to see it. I'm sure Solis doesn't love to see that, but
yeah,
I love to see it.
Look, here's the thing: every game against the Mariners,
giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah.
Every game against the Mariners was close. Even the 11-9 loss, because it was an absolute shootout. The Cardinals just kept blowing the fucking lead. Damn it! Of course. That was when O'Brien gave up and finally got an ERA, just could not lock it in.
All right, I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good one.